on this beautiful noon, night, or you're the next day. I hope you had a great Monday. Really went fast for me. It seems like every day goes fast now. Right now, it is 4:27 here, close to 4:30 in the afternoon. We won't get dark for another 3.5, almost 4 hours. So I hope everybody's enjoying HAPS. I'm really enjoying it. And it seems like every update they do, it seems to be better than the update from before. A lot of people don't care for the update too well. I like it because it's clear and crisp, it's clean. I don't have a lot of the problem with all the ban for the awards and don't want to hit on purpose or by accident. I've done that before, let me tell you, by accident. And oh my goodness, I was giving awards and I had something like 23,000 coins. I had purchased some coins and I made a mistake. And I'll tell you from the outset, when they have the sale on coins, don't go through the app store to get it. Go through the broadcast studio on haps.tv. You'll get a lot more coins for a lot more money than you would, or for a lot less money. Let's put it this way, a lot more coins for a lot less money than you would when you go through the app store. And let's face it, Apple's got enough money. They don't need to get all this from the coins. I did make a mistake though, did buy $50 worth once on the Apple store. And then after I did it, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm preaching to people to do it from the broadcast studio, and I ended up doing it from the app store. It's very easy to do it. You know why? Because you're so used to that. And I don't have a laptop in my bedroom now. I put it away. So whenever I want to buy coins, I just go in my living room and go on my laptop there and do it. But they usually have coin sales maybe once a month or something. But that's my recommendation. Don't go through the app store to get your coins. I know you have the thing up in the corner on your profile that says get coins, but you're not going to get as many coins. You're going to pay a lot more money and less coins. So consider doing to get your coins. Anyway, I like the fact it's got a lot less on it than it used to have. It's beginning to look a lot in a way. It's not exactly like Periscope. Periscope, was very simple, didn't have a lot on it. This doesn't have a lot on it now. When we first started, it was just loaded with all kinds of stuff. You had your banner and everything. And I, like I said, I hit that thing more times than I wanted to. But I like it. It's getting, to me, the app is getting a lot better than it has been. Every update I just got off of Peter and Pablo's community updates and question and Q&A where they explain what's coming out. And I implore you that if you haven't got the latest update of the HAPS, and I think it's 6.614, something like that you get the latest update, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to do very much, because it becomes not compatible, and you'll get an error message when you open up your HAPS. You'll get an error message that it'll tell you to update it right away. Now, that being said, I have an iPhone and it doesn't always update on its own. I have to do it manually sometimes. I wish it would do it automatic. It doesn't have to do it manually. Just make sure it doesn't take that long to do, and you keep your up to use every day, or mostly every day, by coming in here and broadcasting or watching broadcasts. I didn't sign in to the app yesterday. I didn't log in, so therefore I ended up I lost all the other ones that I did. So now I'm back to my streak of logging in. I lost my streak and I have to start all over again. That happens. If you don't log in every day to the HAPS app, you're going to have to start all over. So I don't know how many I had. I was getting up there 40, 50 or something. And then you miss one, then you got to start over. But anyway, it's all well and good. But anyway, everybody just come on in. We're just going to have a general chat, just to talk about HAPS or talk about whatever you want to talk about, finding out how your day went. I'm finding each and every day is going faster and faster and faster. It seems like you get through one day and then the next day's here already. And I know for me, once I get breakfast done, then lunchtime is right around the corner. And it seems like I barely get breakfast. And I eat breakfast about 7 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Sometimes it's earlier than that. And by the time noon rolls around, I'm really hungry. And sometimes I'll eat before that, but the time goes so fast. It just whizzes right on by. And I do enjoy my days. Um, Hi, Tony. Good to see you. Being by myself, but I've been missing you the last few days. You're okay. Um, I I'm just going to say something in passing, Tony. And I know this is not true, and you can verify it. I've had problems with trolls, okay, and I do apologize for you being jumped on in Randy's broadcast. Oh, you're working a lot because the person that jumped on you in Randy's broadcast keeps telling me that you're the stalker that I'm having problems with, and that I need to block you and stuff. And I not. I know um, his name is Robert. He keeps changing his username, he changes everything. And I know, Tony, you're doing reports that you can. I appreciate that. I've got my iPad sitting here, so if anybody comes in through YouTube and we have a problem, we can take care of it. Now, unfortunately, I did my church broadcast on Sabbath. I I had a bot in there. It wasn't a troll. I thought it was a troll, but it was a bot because those bots. I know you don't, Tony, and that's what I tried to tell her, but she wouldn't listen to me. She's, well, he's got you fooled. I finally just had to just stop talking. She's a nice lady and all, but she just doesn't understand because she sees Tony Dean and all these other ones. But she doesn't understand. The stalker takes and makes up different names, uses different pictures, uses different people's names. They don't use the same name every time. Well, anyway, I know it's not you, Tony, but so I've got my iPad sitting here. So if somebody comes in through YouTube, we can block them. Well, Saturday, on my religious broadcast, I had a yes, it was, and I know she jumped on you because Erlene and I were talking. She says, "Is that why she um jumped on you and told you to stop harassing me?" And I told her he's not harassing me. Uh, oh, it wasn't Deanna D. it wasn't. Well, her name was D E A, and well, I don't. It wasn't her. It was somebody else. Well, anyway, she's the one that messaged me and thought it was you, but she swears up and down it's you. But that's neither here nor there. I know it's not you, so don't take it. Don't take it to. Ah, okay, just don't take it. Just don't take it wrong because I know you're not doing that. Anyway, had a bot had a bot on Sabbath in my church broadcast, and he was saying all kinds of stuff. And he come in from Twitter. Well, when I'm there at church, I don't have my iPad with me, so I can't block him. So I come home and I went onto my broadcast and looked up to see who that person was. And I thought, well, I'll go into Twitter and see if I can block them from there. I couldn't block them. They're a bot. You can't block bots for some unknown reason. I think these people that sit there and make these bots, they have too much time on their hands. But he was saying all kinds of mean and vindictive stuff and talking about people that I'm not even associated with, that I had a falling out with, and brings them up in the broadcast about food. This wasn't even a food broadcast. And he brought up about my food looks tasteless and odorless and looks terrible. And I'm thinking, okay, let him talk. So we got that to deal with now as bots. But anyway, I do appreciate you being here, Tony, and moderating for me when you can. Like I said, I have my iPad here, and if somebody comes in through YouTube, which it might happen, and they try to do anything funny business, we can block them immediately. I haven't seen anybody yet. You say you're the only one in here right now, Tony, but I'm glad you're working a lot. You know something? Makes the time go so much faster, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. It really makes the time go fast. Like I said, get up early. I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning because my dogs have to go out, and then my ex-husband calls me, so I talk to him, and he usually calls between 5:30, sometimes 6 o'clock. So I'm up because I like to get an early start in the morning. So I get up and I get dressed, take my shower, get dressed, and go out in the living room and I'll start reading my Bible. And by the time I get done with that, well, it's 6 o'clock or so, then I'm ready to eat my breakfast. So from 7 to 9, that time goes so fast. I'm working on my diamond painting, and that time just gets away from me. Man, I'm not working. I'm retired, but the time can go just as fast for a retiree as it does for somebody working. But when you're working, you really haven't got time for much anything, and it kind of keeps you out of trouble. That does that too. But we need to get people in here and do some chat, because this is just a general chat one to find out how people's day went, and how things are going with everybody. We had beautiful weather yesterday. It got in the 80s. So therefore, since my air conditioner isn't working like it should, it got so hot in the house, I had to put a fan in here. I put a fan in the bedroom. Well, it got about 78 in the house, and it was about 83 outside. So I decided, well, this morning I'll open up the door and bring some cool air in here. It did. I cooled it down to 67 degrees. It's only 73 in here, right in the house right now. So that's awesome. So it's not too bad. So I'm going to try to get a different air conditioner and get that one fixed. I think I can buy a portable one on Amazon for cheaper than what it would cost to get me that and get that one fixed. As I've mentioned before to people what they want to fix it with an air compressor, which is a little ridiculous, $2,000. Well, I'm not going to pay $2,000 for an air compressor. So I could get a portable air conditioner or a big, huge, tall fan out of Amazon that has water. It's like a swamp cooler, runs on water, and you use ice and stuff to keep you a lot cooler. And you can move it from room to room. That's what I want. Something you can move from room to room, because an air conditioner you can't. Of course, the one that's in my house, the air conditioner, it's a whole house air conditioner. But until I get it fixed, I just have to get a heat out of it. But I'll survive. Every day that goes on, I'm just thankful that I'm here. The Lord wakes me up every morning, and you're right, Tony. I would never accuse you, because I know you're not doing it. And I even told my friend Erlene, I says, I'm not one to accuse anybody without knowing the facts. I will not do that, because you have been so nice to me. You have not done anything. And if you were a troll, you would have trolled me from the very beginning. You would have done it from the very beginning, because people have done that. I mean, and I know that you haven't done it, Tony, and I appreciate that. You've got some sense. You have some smarts in your head. It does hurt me too. And I just let her talk. And when finally she went, I don't know, she messaged me one last message on it, and I didn't get back with her. I just thought, let it go. Just let her think what she wants to think. Thank you for the award, Tony. Just let her think what she wants to think. It's like you said, it is what it is. You can't change people. Far be it for me to try to change anybody. I'm not going to do that. I got my own problems, and I'm not going to change anybody else either. But it's unfortunate that we have to have them in the first place. I try to ignore them. I do. But it isn't easy to do sometimes, because they really say things that are very hurtful, because I've had a lot of things hurtful said to me and about me and stuff, and they don't know me from Adam. They think they do. And you know how that troll came in that one day and used your picture with another name, and I knew it wasn't that they were trying to hurt you too. And that's what I told her, but she didn't want to accept it. She doesn't come into my broadcast to see what's going on, to see that you're not like that. So when somebody comes at you like that, you either ignore them or just block them or whatever. That's all you can do. I didn't block her, because she doesn't really come into my broadcast. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes. And she goes into Alexis's broadcast. Who I do not go in there anymore. Because her, she, yeah, she's a, and I like her. I mean, this lady, but I think that she was wrong with, and she said, well, realize you don't start accusing people without knowing for sure. You know, we know there are trolls out there that are very sadistic, violent, mean, and everything. But I didn't even notice she had done that. Nerlene said, yeah, she was jumping all over you. And I didn't even see that. And I apologize. I'm sorry that she did that. Of course, she should be the one to apologize to you, but that's not right what she did. The the one that the stalker that was in there was putting my address up on on Randy's broadcast. You don't put somebody's address up on somebody's broadcast. I don't either. I don't either. But she was putting, but this doctor was putting my whole street address up on Randy's broadcast. Like he said, that's doxing and that's illegal. Now, that being said, um, Randy knows, or he thinks he knows. Now, I'm not sure if he knows 100%, but he thinks he knows who the troll is that's been bothering him. It's the same troll that was bothering Vanita. It's been bothering me and him. And I don't know who it is. If I knew, I would do something about it, but I don't know. And I try to block them. But when you get bots, you can't do anything about it because you get that on Twitter. If you when you're in Periscope, you get an error message if you tried to block somebody or something. You get an error message. Well, we've encountered a problem, and then try again later. Well, you can try several times, and if it's a bot, you can't block them. There's no way you can block bots. If it's a human being, yeah, you can block them because I block them on my YouTube channel. That come in there and make snide remarks about my YouTube, you know, my video, whatever, and I block them all the time. So I blocked a lot of them in there in my YouTube, and I'll continue to block them. But I appreciate you being my moderator. But that's the only way we can do it. And I got to thinking the other day, when they come on YouTube like that, you've got to have moderators because if you don't have moderators, you can't catch them. You can catch them right away that way. Unfortunately, we know that anytime anybody comes in here and haps and they're on Twitter or they're on YouTube or when Periscope was around, they come in for Periscope. You had to go into that platform in order to block them. You can't because Haps has no way to take care of them themselves. Now, if somebody comes in here from Haps and they say bad things, yeah, then you can block them if they have a Haps account. But most of the ones that come into my broadcast are ones that don't have a Haps account. And you know why they don't have a Haps account? Because they know if they get a Haps account, they're going to be banned should they say and do the things they've been doing, like putting people's addresses up there or just harassing, completely harassing people. When you have a problem, and that's what they love to do is harass me. I apologize for my connection being poor. If I put it on Wi-Fi, it's going to end up the same way anyway. So let's just hope and pray. They're going to, Tony. They said they were going to. They're working on that feature right now. Well, to block from other platforms, I don't think they're going to do that. But the block, they don't have they do have a block feature on Haps right now through Haps itself that you can block somebody in Haps, which I've done. But to block from other platforms, they said that's impossible for them to do that. They're never going to have that. I wish they would too, because it would make it a lot easier because I wouldn't have to go into my iPad to go into YouTube or go into and block. But it is what it is. But I do enjoy their community updates. I do enjoy their Q&A because you do learn a lot when they're on because it's something I wouldn't know otherwise. And I try to go in there and I knew they were going to be coming on today at 3:30 and they come in 3:30, but they went off a little late. And I usually wait until they're done before I come in here. This probably won't be a real long broadcast, but I just wanted to come in and chat for a little bit because I haven't done one of these in a while. But something, like I said, the Haps app to me is getting better and better and better. It's a lot cleaner than when I first got it. You had two boxes. You had to put your face in the one box and you had the other box. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know which box to stick my face in until I started reading it. Finally, they removed that one box, and it made it a lot simpler. They've slowly been working on this, and I appreciate the fact that the Haps team is taking time to get this app up and going as good as they are, because I think it's a lot better than it used to be. Now, I don't know what it looks like on Android since I don't have an Android. I've got an iPhone, so it's probably going to look a little bit a little better. But they didn't explain that they do iOS. iOS is older than Android. It's been around a lot longer, and everything seems to get updated on iOS first. But they are going to have some Android updates too. But I'm telling people that if you haven't got the app updated, or if you're still on Twitter or you're on YouTube, come on over to Haps. You're going to find it a very pleasant experience. With the exception maybe of the trolls, but you're going to get those no matter what. They're on this platform. you can't stop them because they've got too much time on their hands, so they're going to come in and they're going to wreak havoc. But we have to live with it anyway. Oh, awesome! That's great. I wondered if you had an iPhone or an Android, Tony. That's cool. Well, I hope you're keeping your Android updated when Caps updates it every once in a while. They just had one not too long ago, and they usually tell us when updates are coming. So I used to have the Samsung too. Let's see, what was it? The Galaxy series. I think I got up to the four, the S4, and I think there's something like 21, 22 now. So they've really evolved. I got up to the S4, and my son had an iPhone at the time, and he says, "Mom, why don't you get an iPhone?" He says, "You'll never go back to Android." Well, I kind of hesitated because I had an iPod, and I always said, "Well, with this iPod, I'm never going to be on iOS." I always said I was never going to have an iPhone before I had that iPod. Well, look, I've got an iPhone, I've got an iPad, now I'm on it. Um, I don't hate Android. I just like the iOS better. So I won't go back to Android for that reason. It seems to me that um, I had problems with my Android when I had it. They weren't updating the software that much. iOS keeps their software updated, but I think the Android just didn't seem like they were updating their software. Because I was on this is how long ago I had the Android. They were on Froyo, and they weren't updating that, keeping that updated. And I thought, oh my goodness, it was terrible. So that that really tells you how long ago I had the Samsung. So I've had the iPhone a long time. I think I started with the five, I believe it was. I started with the iPhone 5, and I've had every one um, except the 10. I didn't have the 10X. I had the 10 Pro Max, and then I had the 11 Pro Max out the 12. But I've had every one of them since I had the 5. Um, oh, I bet. Well, see, my iPhone isn't however. We don't have 5G in my area, so I can't use 5G, but I do have it enabled. That way, if I go to an area where they have 5G, it'll kick in. My grandson's got the iPhone too, and he says he just shut the 5G off because he says he can't see a difference between the 4G and the 5G. Now, I think that sometimes that's the case. You can't see much difference. They're both pretty much the same. I wish they would get 5G in this area. They're coming with it, but they're just a little slow. But for right now, I'm still on 4G, and I have to accept that. I can't do anything about that. Oh, hi, Dave. Good to see you. I can't do much about it. Good to see you, Damon. I just wish that they after I Verizon. Now I'm on Verizon, and Verizon claims to have um, the 5G. They have a lot of 5G phones, but the problem of it is my daughter, she has AT&T, and she's got 5G. See, and Verizon doesn't have that many areas that are updated into 5G, and I can't understand that. There's not that much on 5G, and I know what it was. What it was. Yes, if I heard, that's what I heard. Oh, you're on T-Mobile. I used to have T-Mobile. I've only had T-Mobile and Verizon. I had T-Mobile for many, many years. Then I went to Verizon for about a year, and then I went back to T-Mobile again. And I stayed on it for several more years. And then I finally went to Verizon. Now I've been on Verizon several years. And I think I want to stay on Verizon. But you're talking about the troll we had, Damon. Yeah, when I got home, I looked to see who that person was because I've had trouble with that person before. But unfortunately, I couldn't block that person because it was not a person, it was a bot. It's a bot because when you get that message, they've encountered a problem loading. It's a red message like Periscope used to get. If you've ever seen that, trying to block somebody or report their broadcast, report their comment, you couldn't do either one. It's a bot. You can't do anything with those. You have to deal with them. Um, when the bots come along, now whoever made this bot, really knew what they were doing. They've got a lot of time on their hands to make the bot. I apologize for that, Damon. It was horrifying to me when I got home, um I know it was Damon. It was terrible. That person just would not stop. Erlene thought she had him blocked because she always comes into my broadcast, and she thought she had him blocked, and she thought it was going to make me lose viewers. But I says, why would that happen? Because they know it's not me; it's a troll. But unfortunately, this time it was a bot. Um, it was bad. Things that were being said was absolutely terrible. But I'm watching right now, and if anybody comes in through YouTube and does the same thing, I'm going to try to block them on YouTube, because I have my iPad sitting here, and I'm gonna put it up on put it in the YouTube if anybody comes in and I have to block somebody. Um, they well, Vanita on the real strict. I still get the trolls. She said she didn't have the troll. You don't have the trolls if you do it in strict moderation. But it must be the same troll that's been after me, it's after Vanita and Randy. Why that person is picking on us three, I have no idea. You know, um, I try to ignore them. That's what Randy does. Try to ignore them, but sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, especially the things that they're saying. Like I said, when they put my address, my street address, and a whole home address, city and state up there, um, and put it on the screen. That is what Randy said. That's doxing, and that's illegal, and they can be sent to the police. But the problem of it is, I don't know how to do that on YouTube. How can I report them? I know I can screenshot it, but how can I report them on YouTube when they do that? Because that was coming in from YouTube. That one that did that. Now the one Sabbath was coming in from Twitter, because I went into Twitter and that's where I found him, but it wasn't a terrible bot. Uh, yeah, they call him a terrorist. They call him gay. Um, I've already blocked one of the trolls that used his name. Randy Fatso came into YouTube, and I was able to block him on that one. Came into my broadcast from YouTube, and I was able to block that one. Yes, they're calling Randy a terrorist. That is horrible. But Randy doesn't block him or do anything about it. But he thinks he knows who that person is, because see, he works in security. That'd be very easy for him to figure out who's doing it. I think for everybody's peace of mind, especially the ones that are having problems with him, we need to all know who this person is so we know what we're dealing with. It needs to be dealt with. You know, they they're terrible. The days I can do a broadcast and don't get trolls. Oh, thank you for the award. Thank you so much. The day I can have a broadcast and don't get trolls, I think that's a good day. You know, I don't get them every day. Um, he says he was in Saudi Arabia, but I don't know if that's true. Yeah, I know. The one that I had Sabbath too, Damon, was from Saudi Arabia, because when I got home, or when I got in my car from church before I left the church parking lot, I had texted Erlene, and because her and I talk all the time, and I asked her if she could tell me where that person's name was, because I wasn't paying attention to the username. She said, well, he's from Saudi Arabia, so she sent me that. I don't think that Randy always not Randy. It's a Robert Lawler. He's not from Saudi Arabia. He claims to be from all over the world. He's different. He's there every time you see him. He's a different place. So it's not that. I know about Periscope. Frankly, I'm kind of glad that it's gone. You know, but you can't broadcast on anymore, because it's going to be a lot less turmoil, because they were coming in really bad. Now they come in from Twitter too. However, Twitter's a little bit better with arresting the trolls, because they're not going to stand for the stuff that these trolls are doing. So once you disconnect Twitter, because if I disconnect, and um, I hope so. Yeah, I think so. That you're probably right. They're they're really bored, and I don't know. our schools here in the area have been closed since March of last year. Um, Thank you for the award, Damon. They've been closed since last year, since March of last year. I don't know when they're going to open up. I have no idea. I don't know how long the pandemic's going to last. Uh, but I would kind of like to see the schools opened up again because that might help um, keep them down. You don't know if they're young kids or if they're they could be teenagers, which they should know better. I always like to say there's somebody in their mom's basement or whatever, but if they're adults, they really need to think about what they're doing. Would they want it done to them? They get their kicks for some reason trolling other people's broadcasts, and that's terrible. You know, oh, oh, the only one term. You're lucky. Yeah, they've been out here so darn long. It's terrible. It um next door. The lady works for the county next door, and she's got some foster kids that she's had them since they were real young, and they haven't been to school since last year. So they do their homework, on their schoolwork on the internet and stuff like that. I don't know. I was hoping that the kids would go back to school, but things are starting to gradually open up. But it all depends on the governors of your state. We are in a Democratic state here in Oregon. Therefore, our governor is Democrat, and she isn't too far closed. So we can't do anything about it. Yeah, kids would have to be going crazy too. I'm sure they want to go back to school now. My grandkids are in school. They've been going to school now. My daughter's kind of glad of that because when they were home and she were doing virtual, she had to go and get them set up with Zoom and stuff like that, and about drove her nuts. So now they're back in school again. She doesn't mind it, So I wish they'd go back to school here, but maybe they will in the fall. I don't know. But it's crazy that I who would have ever thought when this whole thing started that the kids would be out of school this long, be out of school for well over a year since March of last year and still not go to school. I thought, well, the first time we had our lockdown was around the 17th of March last year, I think. And it, everything was locked down. We were locked down for about a month, maybe. And at that time, I didn't want to get out and go to the store, so I decided to sign up for Walmart home delivery. So I had stuff delivered from Walmart because my son said, "Well, Mom, you need anything? Let me know and I'll go get it for you." And I says, "Well, I can have it delivered here at the house." He said, "Well, you can do that too." So yeah, you're probably right, Tony. They will be getting the vaccine. I've said this before. Um, it's to each his own if you want the vaccine or whether you don't. I don't particularly going to take it. I don't want to be forced to take it, but I guess they're not going to be forced to take it anyway. I know they're frontline workers and that. So and my kids, the youngest one is 10, so I don't think he's gonna get the vaccine anyway. He's too young for that. But um I don't know. It's crazy. I don't particularly agree with the vaccine, but that's my opinion, and my opinion is not going to be the same as anybody else's. There are going to be some people that want to take the vaccine, and I'm not going to tell you one way or the other whether you should take it or not. Um, oh, you had your first vaccine, Tony? Okay. See, there you could take the vaccine if you want to. I'm not going to because I'm not around anybody. When I go to the store, I wear my mask and I keep my distance. The only people I sit with in church are my family, and I've been around them several times. So for holidays and stuff. So I'm not worried about catching it, but I keep my mask on when I go to church. So I'm not worried. So I don't feel that I really need to because I'm not around anybody. And I can understand, Tony, you probably would because of where you probably work. You have to have it. Um, how long ago did you get it, Tony? Because my grandson just had his over the weekend, I think, and he said his arm's sore. Uh, he was he got the Moderna one, I think. Which one did you get, Tony? Because he got the Moderna one. Uh, so, oh, you got it Thursday and it still hurts. Did you have any side effects from it at all? Because some people get the side effects and some don't. Oh, you got the Moderna. Some people get the side effects and some don't. But however, like I said before, it doesn't really affect everybody the same. Some will get the side effects and some won't. And if you do get the side effects, they're not going to be as bad for you as they will for somebody else. My daughter's going to get the vaccine too. I'm not real happy about it, but she's getting the vaccine. Oh, headache and body aches. Oh my. Well, my daughter's getting her vaccine tomorrow. And the reason she is because she's going to go to Iowa around June 1st, and to see the new grandson. And she thought, and um, my grandson, or my grandson, her son said, well, in order for her to see the baby, she should have the vaccine. And she kind of thinks maybe she should be around the baby. So she's getting the Moderna tomorrow, and then she'll get it and another month later. She has to wait 6 weeks before she can go on the trip. So she's going to drive to Iowa, but she's going to get the shot. And I was telling her, to be kind of concerned about the the side effects. She says, Mom, I'm not even going to stress out about it. She says, I'm just going to be okay with it. So, that's crazy that you've had your headache and body aches that long, Tony. Wow. Oh, you're at high risk, so he told you to get the vaccine. Oh, I see. Uh, oh, through the may have caught something else. Oh yeah, could be. Oh man, oh no, I'd be scared for your grandmother. No, it could be either or, but that's kind of why I don't want to get the vaccine because I'm a healthy person per se. I've got good health, but I don't want to get the vaccine and something happen, you know, because I don't do well with side effects, and I'm sure as shooting the side effects would hit me like a ton of bricks. You know, now there is I did hear, I know and I guess that was just one dose, but that's been on pause because of blood clots. Um, well, she had the same symptoms, and the problem of it is, so Tony, you've got to get the second one in another month, and I hope that you get your arm and that gets to feeling better before you get that second one, because I don't know. See, you had a bad reaction, so you know. But like I said, I hate to get it because of my age. I'm 73, and I don't want to get sick from it and have the side effects. So that's why I'm kind of hesitating to do it. Um, May 15th, because that's when you get the second one. Oh, okay. Um, I hope that you come out okay with it, Tony. That's got to be scary, I'm sure. Is it hard to work when your arm hurting like this? Did it swell up or anything? You have a lot of redness because the only reason I'm asking this is because my daughter's getting it, and I want to know what she's going to expect. But I'm not going to get it. And I don't want to be forced to get it. Like I said, I'm not around anybody. I live alone, so I'm not around anybody. And the only time I'm around anybody is when I go to the store and I wear my mask and I stay my 6 feet distance anyway. And I sit with my family at church. Oh, every day it gets better. Awesome. That's good to hear. Uh, True. We're very exposed here. We absolutely are. Oh my goodness, we're exposed way too much. And the sad thing of it is, even with the vaccine, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, even with the vaccine, you can still get COVID, but maybe not as big case, a bad case of it. But they got that new strain out there that's hitting. Is it in UK? I think they got a new strain yet. I don't know where these new strains are coming from, but it's even worse, they said, than the original strain itself. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what in the earth is going on? Why is it so bad? You know, um, this whole thing could have been stopped, but it just wasn't because people from China came over here in the United States and then got us going over here, got us started over here. And it's just really been going like a house of fire. Yeah, I can. I've had a Walmart delivery. I'd rather go into this. India is in crisis from COVID. Oh man, that's too bad, Tony. Oh, that's so sad. As far as groceries, yeah. I did get groceries a few times. I would rather go into the grocery store because when I go be a lot of people there. People don't have the masks on anyway, and we stay 6 feet apart. It's touch this what I'm getting over having it delivered. Although I have when we were in lockdown, but I would rather do it myself. But if it comes to the point where I have to do the delivery again, I know what to do. Um, I would just rather go into the store and pick the stuff out myself because there's so many things that I might need, and the problem of it is when you have it delivered, if you have any substitutions, they may end up giving you something that you may not really want. But I guess you could pick your own social substitutions. But yeah, the delivery is awesome if you don't want to get out. Now they still have a lot of Walmart deliveries. Every time I go in there's several people with those baskets, wheeling those blue baskets around for the deliveries or the pickup. Lots of them. People still don't want to get out. Uh, yeah, that's I know, Tony. And like I said, you can still get COVID even with the vaccine, but it won't be as bad a strain as I understand. And I always thought to myself, well, then what is the purpose of the vaccine if you can still get the COVID anyway? I don't understand it. You know, Somebody explain that to me. I don't understand. If you can still get it anyway after having the vaccine, it makes no sense to me. But okay, it is what it is. Um, oh, really? Where are you at that you don't have to wear a mask? Because I know some places there's no mask mandates. Now, where my daughter's at, they take the mask mandates off. They have not here because, like I said, this is a Democratic state. Oregon is a Democratic state. We got a Democratic governor, so she will not lift the mask mandate. She keeps the mask mandate on, which it is what it is. I'm not really excited about keeping the masks on, going places, but I'm used to it by now, and I just do what I do. You know, um, oh, that's probably true. Um, No, I didn't. I don't think I'm following her, and I'm not following her anyway, Damon. What did she say? Um, me Kamala Harris. I'm following her. I really don't care for the woman. I don't care for the lady very well, so I don't follow her. Um, I think it makes it a lot less severe, not so life threatening, and more a cold. It's the same as being immunized. Yeah, for chickenpox, you still get them, just not as bad. That's true. Oh, you're in Australia. Oh, really? So you don't have the masks there in Australia. Uh, she's in a helicopter, and down below the whole city is burning, and she says, "We did it, Joe." Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh my goodness. Well, there's this one guy I watch on YouTube. His name is It's Jimmy. He does a lot of this on the stimulus and stuff. He does a lot of research. I'm subscribed to his channel because he's awesome the way he puts the things out. But he was saying something about, I guess there was a fight between a Republican from Congress and Dr. Fauci, and there was this Democratic congresswoman that she shut him down in a hurry, and she told him that Dr. Fauci knows more in his little finger than you ever will at all. But I wasn't. That's not what I was thinking of. Um, what I was thinking of was this very same woman I'm telling you about that's in Congress. This trial that they're having for that police officer that supposedly murdered George Floyd. Now there's a whole thing on that. You know, I don't believe that he was murdered. I believe that he took a drug and killed himself. That's just my opinion. Um, the only thing I will say, the way it was handled and putting him down on the ground and not letting him up, I think that was wrong. But anyway, she said that if he is acquitted, they are going to start rioting. She's going to tell the BLM to get out there because she's black herself, and she's going to tell the BLM to get out there and start rioting. Wow, this woman is absolutely nuts, and they're trying this, that Taylor that Green I can't think of her first name on that tried to impeach Biden his first day. Margaret Taylor Greene or something like that. She says they're going to try to get her out of Congress. They're going to sign a petition or something to get her out of Congress because you have no business as a congresswoman or man, whatever that case might be, to try to incite rioting like that. And that is Oh, debate. Oh, are they still debating now? I know they were supposed to come to. They were supposed to come to. To but she was saying, and like I said, she's in Congress, and her name is Marilyn Waters, I think it is. I know her last name is Waters. She's a congresswoman, and she is mean and nasty. And she said that if he gets acquitted, they're going to start rioting. You know, I guess Portland here in Oregon is rioting now. They've been doing that. Portland always riots anyway, but it's crazy to say, well, they're going to get the BLM out there and start causing problems. This is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely crazy because I don't believe that it was. Let's put it this way: it was mishandled. I think that them holding him down like that when he couldn't breathe was wrong. They should have let him up. But this whole idea that they're blaming these cops for killing him when he was a crook, a criminal. Anyway, he had a criminal history, as I understand it. He had probably a rap sheet a mile long, but yet nobody says anything about that. They talk about the fact that he was murdered by the cops, but they don't talk about the fact that he had a rap sheet and he was a criminal. Who they hadn't stopped him when they did. Who knows what he was going to do? I think he was going to take off. He was going to flee from the police. I understand. So they managed to stop him. But you know, it's really sad that it had to happen. But okay, let's put it this way. And I'm not a racist, and I don't like it when people are killed either way, race either side. Um, Yeah, that's what I heard. And he took that himself. He was on fentanyl and all that and meth. Yeah, and I believe that's what killed him, Tony, because he would have died anyway. And they're claiming that by the police officers holding him down like that, and he couldn't get up and wouldn't let him breathe. That's what killed him. But I think the drugs in his system, he probably had so much in his system. That's what killed him. Um, it's really a shame. But you know, I was going to say, like I said, I'm not a racist. I don't pretend to be. I don't like it when I hear people dying either way, white or blacks. I don't care. It upsets me when I hear it. Okay, let's put yourself in this position. What would they have done if it had been a white man with black cops? What would they have done then? Would they have swept it under the rug like they're doing now? No, they wouldn't have swept it under the rug. That would have come out like crazy. So what do black cops? It's just terrible when black people are involved. And he's a criminal to boot, and giving him all the notoriety. Why give that guy any notoriety at all? He didn't deserve it. He was a criminal. I mean, it's terrible, but people are so weird. But I hope it comes out the way it's supposed to come out. Let's put it this way: God's got His hand in it. It'll come out the way it's supposed to, and I'm hoping that he is acquitted because I don't believe that he had anything to do with his death. Not when they find fentanyl and meth in his system. He would have died from the fentanyl and meth anyway. You know. Or do you suppose maybe he would have, or maybe it would have ended up suicide by cop? We know there's a lot of that goes on where they actually beg the cops to kill them. Oh, it was on all day. I never watched the first one day of it, Tony. I guess I just wasn't interested. And I think the reason of that is because this was so much hype going on about this, and exploding it all over the place. I just didn't want to hear about it. Uh, yes, he was. Uh, yep. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, there are good people that are shot and killed, but you know something? They're never mentioned. They're never mentioned in the news. But let it be a criminal that they say is murdered by the cops, and that is in the news. It's like that thing with it was a few years ago with that Michael Brown there in St. Louis. Oh, that thing was on the news for so darn long. My daughter, she lives in Missouri, and she heard so much of it, she got tired of hearing it. And I think that's why I didn't watch the trial because I heard so much about this George Floyd thing, and I knew that he had drugs in his system, and I knew it's probably going to come out anyway. And justice is going to be served one way or the other. But I think it's sad to actually what they're doing is they're memorializing this guy when he really wasn't fit to be memorialized. He was a human being, But he was a human being that was in a lot of trouble with the law. And why are they memorializing him and putting him up on a pedestal? That's exactly what they're doing. But did they have trials for any of these other ones? These other ones that maybe white were killed by cops, or how about a white cop that's killed by a black man? Let's put it that way. Do they have those trials? You don't see or hear anything about those. And there's a lot of that goes on where a black man will kill a white cop. You're nothing said about that. Yeah, I know, Tony. It's backed by the BLM, and that's why it's like it is. And that's the sad part of it. And that's why I say that Congresswoman Waters, her last name is Waters, is telling them that if he gets acquitted, they're gonna BLM, they're gonna start rioting. And who knows what they're gonna do. Um, oh my goodness, really, Damon? Oh, I didn't know that. That's really something. I am kept up on my history, I guess. But that is, it's really sad when some things are brought out into the news and then others aren't. Like I said, uh, a, a cop can kill a white man, or a white man can kill a black cop, and then that another one that gets in. But oh my goodness, in Czechoslovakia, oh my goodness. But why memorialize a guy that was a criminal? I'm not saying he deserved to die. That I'm not going to say. I'm not. He didn't deserve to die. Period. Whether he had drugs in his system, or they claim he died by them holding him down, he didn't deserve to die that way. I'm not saying he should have died, but he shouldn't be memorialized either, as he was a good person, because that's what they're doing. They're putting him on the pedestal like he was the greatest person ever, and he shouldn't have been killed. I'm not saying he should have died. I agree there that but who knows how long his criminal record would have continued. I mean, he was going to continue to do criminal stuff, probably rob people again. I guess he did. I know it is. Things happen all the time. The street. Oh my! It's absolutely horrible. Um, Another person didn't agree with it, and then they start fighting, and the street fighting can get out of control. Um, Now my daughter was telling me this morning that they think they know. Of course, they're still going to blame Trump for the January 6th Capitol breach, but they think they do know who really actually started this whole thing. But they're still blaming him for inciting a riot. But when you listen to his speech, and I'm sure you could probably find it somewhere on the internet, if you listen to his speech that he gave that day, and I heard the whole thing, he did not incite a riot one little bit. They still accuse him of inciting a riot. He told them to do everything in peace. He was not for rioting. He was not for fighting. He was for law and order. But it's because people like Nancy Pelosi, she's the biggest instigator of all. She hated him so bad that she was going to do anything she could to get him out of office. And that's why she's tried to impeach him 3 times. The woman is a total loser. That's what I call her. She's a total loser. That woman, you know what I think? She's going to end up losing her job. She's going to end up, somebody's going to have it in for her. And she may end up getting killed because she is terrible. When Trump was in there and he tried to get the stimulus, she fought tooth and nail. She did not want that stimulus coming out with his name on it. She was adamant about that. She did not want the checks with his name on them. So that's why she fought from out until Biden got it. And isn't stupid? So stupid. Oh, Damon, she's about. She has been over 30 years in her 80s. Is really, yeah, Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. She is really something else. She's the one that did not like Trump, and she did everything she get him, um, you know, out of office. She was even going to use the 25th Amendment on him. And if you've read the 25th Amendment of the Constitution, I've only bits and pieces here and there. it had nothing to do. He was not unfit to be president. They say that if they're unfit to be president, they can't serve their terms of office. Then that's when they should have the 25th Amendment invoked on them. And I think that Biden should have the 25th Amendment because we all know he's got dementia. He's getting worse. And pretty soon he's not going to be able to do anything. He's not even going to know his own name, let alone where he's at or anything. Oh, shit. Where's, oh, my goodness. Must be nice. Not necessarily. I don't follow politics. Some people do, but I don't. I hate politics. I just happen to listen to people on YouTube that talk about things like this, and that's how I know about the politics. But I really don't follow politics. I don't like politics. I'd rather not follow it. I did not vote when it come to the election. I didn't vote because in my conscience, I just couldn't vote. So I didn't vote for either one. So some people like to vote and follow politics, and other people don't. And I don't knock those that do follow politics, but I just don't happen to. I haven't for a long time. I can't stand politics, you know, because there's always disagreements going on, fighting, and it never ends up very good at all. So I would rather not get into fights. What they say, the two things you shouldn't discuss when you're discussing with somebody is religion and politics, because you're bound to get into a problem. You're bound to get into a fight. So those two things should be left out of the equation. But no, I don't follow politics. 100, well, that's still quite a bit, Damon. 115 million. But she thinks she's the bee's knees because, I mean, like I said, she, if you follow anything at all, a while back things were closed and she was making this beauty shop open up to get her hair done. What makes her so special? Just because she's the Speaker of the House, that she had to have her hair done that particular day, and she had to make them open it up to do it for her? Oh my goodness, she's no better than anybody else. I don't care if she is a congresswoman and she's the Speaker of the House. She's not any better than anybody else. It's sad. Yeah, she thinks she's something special. You know, um, it is true. She thinks she's the bee's knees. She thinks she's the bee's knees. She thinks that she's everything and other people are nothing. She does. I will admit that she dresses beautiful. She thinks herself, oh, I'm it. I'm better than you and all this and that. I mean, like I said, what made her think she was so special to go into that beauty shop and have her hair done when nobody else could come in there? She thought sure that they were going to have to open up. When they did, they opened up for her, but they weren't happy about it. God, it's terrible. And you didn't see anybody else do that, but Nancy, leave it to Nancy Pelosi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Uh, uh yeah, you're everything. You know, I can't stand that woman. But unfortunately, she's in line for the presidency should anything happen to Biden, and he gets, he dies or whatever. Now, as I understand or this is my opinion, but I think I've heard this too. There's a possibility that Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi are going to cook something up to get Biden out of there so Kamala can be vice president or president and Nancy Pelosi be vice president. And God help us if those two women are in the White House. Lord have mercy. We're really going to, our country's really going to go down the tubes then. Oh my God. Goodness. Yes, she did. Yeah, she did. But if they get into the White House, oh man, forget it. Oh, and that's exactly what I think they're Biden now, because we know that Biden is not in very good shape. Did you have to see that video? And he was going, he was 3 times, and they're blaming it on the wind now. And I don't think he's blaming it on the wind. He's just a klutz. He could run up the steps, and his age shouldn't be running up the steps, and he fell 3 times. He face planted 1 time, And I think, my goodness, this man, he's sometimes I don't think he even knows where he's at. You know, yeah, he got that right. It's the days of our life in real life, exactly. But I don't think half the time that man knows what he's signing, where he's even at. Um, when they had the presidential debates, he didn't even remember President Trump's name. He says, "Oh, this man over here." He was so bad then, but as it goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse, and it's going to get to the point where he's not going to know his own name, let alone his family's or anything else for that matter. And I think, as far as the 25th Amendment, they could put the 25th Amendment on him and it would go through, because he's not fit for the duty of President of the United States. We all know how he got in there. I won't go over that. We all know how he got in there, but it's crazy. People voted for that man, and look the way he is. It's absolutely terrible. You know, uh, you know, between you and me and the rocks, he's not my president. I don't consider him my president. I still consider President Trump my president, even though he's not in the White House. I still consider him my president. I've never considered Biden my president. Now, that being said, we have to respect him because of the office he holds. We have to respect him as much. We got to respect the office that he holds. Oh, you too, and thank you for coming in. I'm very happy that you were able to come in for a little bit, and you have a great evening. But I was disappointed when Biden got in there, but I knew that it's probably prophesied. That was gonna be president. I was hoping it wouldn't be, but I believe it's been prophesied. And the only time's going to tell what's really going to happen. Um, I all I can say is I wish him the best. I'm not wishing the man any ill will. I'm not one of those kinds to wish him. That's not me. I don't wish the man well, even though I don't care for him. Let me take a drink real quick. But I hope that everything goes good. But who knows? Uh, we can only hope for the best. But anyway, hope everybody's having a great Monday, and that you're all enjoying the weather. We are getting real nice weather now. I don't ever recall it being as hot as it was. We had 83 in the 80s yesterday in April. It really doesn't get that hot in April. Usually May is when we start getting hot, and it gets hot in the blazes. So I got to get me an air conditioner, get it fixed or something. Um, yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it, Damon. I think that's funny. That's a good word. But like I said, does that man really know what he's signing? And when he gives speeches, have you ever noticed how he's not very eloquent in speech, and he slurs his speech, and he has to have a teleprompter. He cannot give a speech without a teleprompter. That is the sad part of it. And if you cannot give speeches without a teleprompter, then you shouldn't be up there giving speeches at all. You know, well, anyway, get through it very well. Oh my goodness! I guess I don't wish I will, but when I listen to speeches of his, short speeches, I don't listen to long speeches of his, because I'm kind of curious to see what he has to say. He's not very eloquent in speech. He slurs his words. He can't complete sentences most of the time, and that's very, very sad. Um, I We know that dementia is I don't know what stage he is of dementia. We know that as it develops and gets worse and worse and worse, and he's already starting to lose his memory. That wouldn't surprise me, but we already know the man he's in his upper 70s or close to 80. Maybe he's in his 80s, and that was too old to be running for president in the first place. And in 4 years, I don't know if he's going to last 4 years. I really don't know. I guess if Trump doesn't run, he'll put his son in there to get his son will run against Biden. Um, oh, hi, good to see you, Bernie. Hi, good to see you. We're just doing regular chatting here. Is Vanita off now? Because I know you're in Vanita's broadcast. Um, Not so far, Bernie. Not so far. I guess they said Randy had them this morning, and Vanita had them too. I heard. Did you have any when she was in when you were in there? Because I know she was on. I was coming in here to do mine. That's why I didn't come in there. Um, I had one. Bernie was not a troll so much as I think bot because he come from out of Twitter. I can block this person real easy. So I goes in there and I start watching it from Twitter. I could not block it since it's a bot. You can't block bots. Uh, oh, she had no problems today. Oh, good. Well, she told me to set mine for strict um, moderation, and I did. The problem of it is when these people set up bots and then they let them loose, you can't do anything. The bots are going to say anything and everything, and this bot just kept going and just had real long, just kept commenting and commenting and commenting, and I didn't notice the comments until I got home and I started reading them, and I thought, my goodness, this bot was terrible. Oh, that it's terrible. And I hope I have no bots, but I have no bots or trolls. I haven't had any so far, Bernie. Uh, that's what I was told to do, to turn off Twitter and YouTube. But the problem of it is, I'm not going to give my stalker the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not going to get off of Haps just because my stalker is on Twitter or YouTube. Now, if a regular person comes on Twitter or YouTube, I can block them real easily, which I've done. Yeah, yeah, I know. They're dogs. Yeah, I saw that game and that was so funny. But if I the thing that I turn off YouTube, it's like giving my stalker wants, and that's exactly what he wants. He wants that I'm not coming in here anymore. So I'm really not going to do that. I'm not going to turn off because I get more viewers if I have YouTube and Twitter on. And I've got my iPad, and I can just go into my iPad and I can block them. Now at church I couldn't do that anyway because I don't have the Wi-Fi there. But I couldn't have done it because it was a bot that I couldn't block anyway. But with a regular person, I can block them immediately because I've had regular people come on my YouTube channel and I can block them just like that. Um, I will make anybody now. Tony is a moderator on YouTube. If anybody wants to be a moderator for YouTube, you let me know because and I have to be on YouTube in order to set you up as moderator. But right now, it's fine. I've had no problem today. Maybe he's leaving me alone today. I think he was after Randy. Randy had a troll, so he's after Randy. So let him stay after Randy and leave me alone for a while. But you know, it's terrible. Some days I wonder if it's really worth coming in here. But I said I'm going to do it anyway because I know that you guys like to watch me, and I'm not going to give that troll what the troll wants. The troll wants me off of here. He wants me off of Twitter. He wants me off of YouTube. I'm not going to do that because that's giving in to him, and I'm not going to give in to him. He's going to have to deal with me. Of course, I'm going to have to deal with him too. But you know, he'll get it in the end anyway. So I'm not really worried. You know. But I just want to this broadcast. Come back to more vegan cooking scopes again, but yeah, that too. Um, oh, you watched it on Twitch? Okay, I don't have Twitch, so I know he was on Hacks earlier, but I didn't watch it. I don't have Twitch, so I can't watch him on there. But I know he goes through Twitter and he goes through YouTube as well. Oh yeah, I figured he did. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of trolls in there. But the thing of it is, he gets trolls and they start talking about me in there when I'm not even in there, and I don't know what's on with that. And Randy has tried to defend me, and then then they get upset with him for defending me or something. Because he told me that one of his broadcasts, the troll was in there talking about me, and he was trying to defend me, and I guess they didn't like that very well. But they have no business bringing me into it, and I'm not even there to defend myself. But what I have a problem with, I can deal with the trolls, But when they start putting your private information up on the screen, like that one did, I have a problem with that. And did it on Randy's broadcast, and have to block them. That's called doxing. When they put your stuff up there, and you come to YouTube, and when they start doing stuff like that, then you got to block them. Because that's just not right. That's illegal. The police can should be called and stuff. People keep telling me to go to police. Yeah, they are unhinged. They're unhinged. All right. Huh. They haven't got a life. Something, maybe something happened in their life was traumatic, and they don't know how to deal with it. So they'll find somebody somebody to reach out to, because they're angry and they want us to get angry too. But we have to try to keep our wits about us and not get angry. However, if you watch Space Gal, she will tell the trolls off, and she's had plenty when on her broadcast. She will tell them off. She'll give them the what tos and the wherefores, and they kind of stay out of her broadcast after that. I try to tell them off too. Hi, Captain Rehab. Good to see you. I try to tell them off too, but it's not the best thing in the world. Sometimes Randy says to ignore them. That's easier said than done. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's not. They let you come back. Okay. And thank you for coming in, Bernie. But like I said, I think the trolls have had something dramatic happen in their life, so therefore they don't know how to treat other people. And hi, Linda, good to see you. Welcome, sis. How you doing? I've just been making this a general chat. I got 213 people. Really awesome. I haven't had any. Bernie was asking me if I had any trolls. I haven't had any trolls today. Nothing from YouTube, nothing from Twitter. So I'm awesome. Yeah, he was. I had a troll. Well, actually, a bot, Captain Rehab, on Sabbath in my church broadcast, and he was saying all kinds of bad things. He was saying things that he was bringing Alexis into it and everything else, about she's a better cook than I am, on my church broadcast, no less, and saying real bad things, and that the pastor was gay and I'm gay and all this and that, and wondering if Erlene and I were homosexual lovers and all this and that. It was terrible. It was nasty, as for sure. But the only thing is, I couldn't block him. I thought, well, when I get to my car, I'll try to block it. It was a stupid bot. You cannot block bots. I will could not block them. It's bots. And the same thing when I was in Paris. If I had somebody come to my broadcast that would say bad things, and couldn't even. I know. Yeah, Twitter. Yeah. Well, see, I have my Twitter connected up, and I have the YouTube connected up too. I leave them up that way because I get more users, but I'm not going to give the trolls a benefit of the doubt by disconnecting my Twitter or disconnecting my YouTube, because that's what they want. And I'm not going to give in to them that way. I'm just going to keep my Twitter and my YouTube connected up, and if they're humans, they're going to get zapped. I mean, I've got people in YouTube that are my moderators. I got Linda's a moderator, and I got Erlene, and I've got a couple others that are moderators on YouTube. So if they come in YouTube, we'll take care of them. I know, that's my daughter. He brought her into it, and I told her that. And she can't understand. I said, well, they brought you into it. That's terrible. It's like, why do they bring in my daughter into it? Don't bring my daughter into it. This is, it's crazy. Yeah, I know. But you know what? Well, when I'm doing a church broadcast, I don't talk, because it's the pastor's talking, and I wasn't even looking at his comments. I was just glancing up to see who was doing all the talking, and I knew it was the troll or the bot. So I didn't even read his comments until I got in the car, and I thought, well, then I'll find out what and then I watched it that night, and I thought, I got to try to block this person, but it's a bot. Robert Lawler, Captain Rehab. There's a Robert Lawler that's been on Tommy. Yeah, there's a Tommy Looker too, but the one that was that had the bot. His username was Robert Lawler, and I have had problems with somebody called Robert Lawler, but Tommy Looker has been a very bad one. He is the very one that will put my private information up on the screen. He did that in Periscope, and I blocked him in Periscope. Thank goodness Periscope. Um, Charles Diano is another one. I have, yeah, it's Tommy Looker. Yeah, Charles Diano, I have blocked so many times. He will try to follow me. So far, I don't think he knows I'm on Haps. He tried to follow me on Periscope, and I blocked him about 50 of his accounts. He made so many of those. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Good to see you from Mobile, Alabama. Yeah, Tommy Looker. He was a bad one. The thing of it is, have you ever noticed though that when they come in, they use people's different names? They'll find somebody's name on the internet or something, and they'll use that name, their picture maybe. Because one came in my broadcast a while back, and Tony was in here at the time, and they used it, and it was a different name, but it was Tony's picture. And I couldn't believe that they were actually doing that. Tony couldn't. We were both taken aback by it. Oh my goodness! It's terrible. But you know something? They're out there. But thank goodness, it's been an awesome broadcast today. I've had Twitter connected up, and I've got YouTube connected up. Nobody's in here from Twitter and YouTube in here today. But that's awesome. If they are, they're not causing me any grief. I haven't them come up on the screen anyway, because we know that Twitter's blue and YouTube is red. So, but those trolls are a mess. They're a mess to society. They're everybody, and they just love to come in. Why pick on me? They pick on Randy, or they pick on Vanita. I don't know. They've chosen us to pick on us, and the purple one is Twitch. I don't happen to have that one. Yeah, it's Twitch, Damon, but I don't happen to have that one, so I'll never. They won't come in here through Twitch because I don't have that account. And you can have Twitch connected up to Haps as well, which I don't have Twitch. And Instagram, I guess you can't do it. They had Instagram. You can't really do that because of their terms of service. So I have Instagram, but it's not connected up because you can't do that anyway. So I only have Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube connected up to Haps right now. So all Periscope has got. I'm sad that Periscope is gone. Yes and no. It was a nice platform while we had it, but the problem of it was way too full of trolls, and it seems like they didn't do anything about them. The trolls got worse and worse and worse, and they never took care of them. So in a way, I'm kind of glad it's gone for that. We don't have to worry about those trolls anymore. So they're not going to be as prominent, and Twitter seems to will be taken care of once their API is up. Then Twitter, I guess we'll have to. Periscope will be completely disconnected from Haps when they get their API up on Twitter, because I guess they're going to change their Twitter Live. So once they get that fixed, then they're going to also take our broadcasts and they're going to archive them. Now, I don't know how they're going to do that. They haven't done it yet. I think they're working on that now, because I've got all my broadcasts that will be archived. Because right now I can't get into Periscope. I deleted it off my phone. I deleted it off my iPad, and you can't find it on the App Store. It's been completely off. I took it off, I think, before the March 31st. I figured, well, I'm not broadcasting anymore. Why have my phone and iPad? So I just took it off. But I guess in order for Twitter in here to connect up, Peter said you had to have Periscope connected up, because I disconnected Periscope off of Haps too, but I connected it back up once I realized it won't come on Twitter unless you have Periscope. So I connected up, even though nobody's in here from Periscope. But it was a good platform. I broadcast a lot on there. I miss it somewhat, and when I found out they were going to be closing down, I couldn't believe they were going to be closing down. And Linda's in here, and I'm so thankful that Linda told me about Haps. I don't know how she found out about it, but I did the last broadcast I did on Periscope. She asked me if I heard about Haps, and I signed up for them. Oh, well, I couldn't really do that, Sadie. It was funny. It was really funny. But see, the thing of it is, when we're in HAPS, we cannot comment back to somebody from another platform, whether they're Twitter or they're YouTube, Facebook, or whether you cannot comment back to them. You can't block them. You can't do anything. You have to go into that platform to comment back to them. And I didn't have my iPad with me. I couldn't comment to them when I was. If I'd have had my iPad, I couldn't go. I can't use my iPad there because I don't have the Wi-Fi password to get the Wi-Fi anyway. Otherwise, I would have probably gone in there and probably would have, done something about it. But I couldn't, And unfortunately, it's not set up that way. HAPS is not set. I don't know if they ever will be. I don't think they can at the present time, and I don't know if they're ever going to be able to set it up where you can block from other platforms. You got to go into their platforms in order to block them. I don't like it, but it is what it is. It's just real easy for me because I got YouTube and Twitter just to go into there and find the person and block them. As long as it's not a bot, I can do it okay. But because I've blocked several from Twitter already that I found that came into my broadcast and were wreaking havoc. I blocked them, and they don't come back in. Now, if they go to YouTube and they make a different account, or they make another account on Twitter, well, I'm right back at it again. And that's the problem with these trolls. They don't settle for just one account. Oh, they have hundreds of them. You can block one account. Well, that doesn't really scare them. They'll go make another account. So you block that one. Then they'll make another one. They're going to keep coming back like a daggone boomerang. That's exactly what they do. You can't deal with them, and I'm just figuring, well, I'll just deal with them as I get them. If it's a bot, I have to deal with the bot. I can't do anything about it because bots cannot be blocked, unfortunately. And I don't, something. I don't even know how to set up a bot on the computer, and I would never think of doing that anyway. That is so crazy to set up a bot because the bots repeat everything. And this bot was coming just one comment after another. I know it wasn't the person doing it; it was the bot. They set this bot up. They programmed the bot with certain and it's crazy. They got way too much time on their hands. I mean, it's awful. But this has been a very good broadcast today, and I'm so glad. It shows 224 at the top, and that's what your other platforms. But that's pretty good for a broadcast for me because I don't really get that many on some of these, And I will be doing another cooking broadcast again, and I will hopefully, if anybody comes in from YouTube and Twitter, we can get them zapped out, if they're not a bot, And I do appreciate my moderators in here. Tony's in here now, and Linda's in here. She's a moderator. And they're both well, Linda's a moderator on YouTube. I haven't set Tony up to be a moderator yet. He has to be on YouTube, and I have to have YouTube up for him to do that, or I have to be broadcasting. But anyway, that'll come later. But I think I'm going to go for now because I need to do some things. But anyway, I thank you all for coming in and making this a wonderful broadcast. I really appreciate the time that you spent here with me. I love each and every one of you. And Tony, you're one of my favorites because you're always here to support me. And Linda, too, because you're here, you support me, try to come in every one of my broadcasts. Damon and Tony do, and Linda does. Oh, and you too, Damon, you too. And you guys are awesome, and I thank you very much for them. And Tony, don't take it to heart what I originally said in the beginning because I know it's not you. So, and I know you would never do that. So, and I didn't believe it was you in the beginning. So, anyway, you all have a great night, day, morning, wherever you are. Take care. God bless. Until we meet again. Bye-bye. Love y'all. Bye-bye.